Hello there, welcome to round 3 with my blue-black challenge deck. We are on the draw against a mystery opponent. Could be on Delver, could be on Blitz, could be on Drake, which as of yesterday has been announced to be banned, but since we're playing on Magic Online, that secretly means in 2 weeks it's getting banned. Also, some guys have started drilling outside my house. Again, why? What's with the constant drilling? I don't understand. Oh, it's a blue-black pseudo-mirror match? Seems great. Time to get settled in for a long one. That's what she said. I guess they could be on like the turbo angler versions. Like if they try and play a 1 mana card, no, that's be fairly good for Spellstarter Sprite. And Innocent Blood pretty good against Angler too. Kind of want them to play some spells so I can use some mana. Like, I don't really want to run out Seagate Oracle like right away, but on the other hand, we're going to be forced into doing something since we're not making land drops. Land. Oh, that's a land drop. Definitely playing that one. And like we still don't know exactly what version they're on. It seems like they're on like the control version though. Yeah, there's a Radiant Fountain. I think I might just want to play Spellstarter Sprite here. You know, get some cards out my hand. It doesn't seem too likely that I'm going to be able to snipe anything anytime soon. And we drew a Dimir Aqueduct, which is fine, I guess, since we're still not discarding to hand size. And I guess I'll just play this and return basic land since I want as many untapped mana as possible. Unfortunately, if they're like on the creatureless version, you know, they actually have like a ton of really dead cards. Like if they're playing like the full hard control versions that straight up don't have any win conditions other than like one tome, then it's going to be pretty hard to win since we don't actually have too many counter spells specifically for tome. But hey, you know, we'll fight. Whispers of the Muse should be okay. Better than a land, considering we have pseudo 2 lands in our hand as is. Man, I was really excited when I thought that there's a chance that they were on like the 4 angler, 4 delver, 4 bear type version. So I think our hand would have been amazing against them. If they're trying to kill us with spells and like non-creature spells, it's pretty horrific at the moment. Well, there's we have drawn an angler ourselves, so that should be good eventually. But I guess now, I guess it's possible that we pick up this sandbar now. Now we have maybe enough enough mana that we don't actually need to. I'm just going to be discarding this Innocent Blood. No, actually, I'll discard Agony Warp. It seems most likely to be dead. And it's like cycling the sandbar helps power up Dredge, Delve rather. So maybe we can like surprise force through a Gurmag Angler. That's fairly interesting. I'm unclear as to whether we actually want the Spellstuck Sprite on top of our deck or not. I think it's probably better than a random card. Like it probably will hit like a Disfigure or an Instant Blood of their own. I'm gonna put it on top. But if I suddenly change my mind, I can always just cast this Forbidden Alchemy. I do need to be very careful of the clock this game, though. Like, casting buyback spells is kind of a time-intensive way to do things, since you need to keep clicking through all the mana when you've got Dimir Aqueducts and so on. Accumulated knowledge. Alright, so that one resolves. Another draw 2. Okay. Okay, sure. Well, we didn't draw land, which is obviously justice for cycling this sandbar. Oh, we drew one. Had it. I mean, we still need to discard something, but at least we're progressing forward on mana. I don't quite want to run out the Gurmag Angler for like 4 mana. Doesn't leave us that many to defend our creature with. Soon it'll be fine though. Chainer's Edict. Yeah, it's okay. An Eldrazi Skyspawner. Finally, I get to counter something. I mean, that's not amazing, but it will negate my future edicts, So I can, like, just flashback, think twice, or cast an alchemy. I think I'll cast an alchemy. I think I want this capsize, actually. Like, it will let me put pressure on their Dimir Aqueducts eventually. Especially with, like, Dispel Backup and so on. Font of Fortune's actually fairly ideal. I'm going to build up one more turn before I go for the Angler plan. This seems like a Muldrifter to me. Yeah, I'm so glad my opponent has creatures in their deck. I think I'll flashback, think twice too. Try and get to my actual counterspell. Miscalculation has the potential to be cast profitably this game, at least. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. I could see a scenario where I need all of it, so. Delve. Yes, Delve. Their removal. I'll cast Dispel on it. Resolves. So they've got like flashback Chainer's Edict available, but I can deal with that. I can work through it. Forbidden Alchemy. Well, I don't think my miscalculation is going to get anything else. And the alchemy does get them some value, so... So I actually think I'm going to cast Capsize with Buyback on my Angler here. Because he either forces a counterspell, or else I get the Angler again, which is fine. Okay, so they did get it, but I still have this Mortuary Mire here, which I can bounce with Aqueduct and get back the Angler, or later on I can get the Wall. So I have a long game plan in mind. And their like 1 mana spells are still sort of bricked by this, so we've got stuff. We've got stuff going on. Whispers. It's possible that we don't want to ever actually flashback this Forbidden Alchemy. There are quite a few games in this sort of matchup where it goes to decking. Seagate Oracle. I think that's fine. I think I want to save my exclude for like more Mulldrifters or something. I will cast Complete Disregard on it though, before they draw a card. And continue to whisper. Frightful Delusion. That certainly is not going to counter a spell, but it will make them discard a card from their hand, which is better than an actual brick. What's this? Is this a Forbidden Alchemy flashback? Yeah, okay. I guess it's not completely impossible that Frightful Delusion will counter a spell. Like, if I just recoil their Dimir Aqueduct at some point, that'll be reasonable. I think I'm going to do it in their main phase, actually. That means they can't float mana into their end step. They discard a Ghastly Demise. That's okay, I guess. Diabolic Edict. So I still think we're fairly safe against their creatures. Do we want to cycle this? Probably not. Like, we have things to do with our mana. And like I say, we might get into decking. We might have to deep analysis them, flash it back. Especially if they've got further Forbidden Alchemies in their hand. So we have to try to exclude the Mulldrifter. I get to bog them too. That's pretty good since they've got 2 accumulated knowledges in there. It's also possible that I could like let the Mulldrifter resolve in order to try and help them along to decking, but with like 28 cards left in their deck, I think they're far away enough from it. It shouldn't matter. We know for a fact that they have Preordains in their deck, though. It looks like an accumulated knowledge. Okay, I guess nothing much I can do about it. They didn't fire off another one. So we're at 22 cards, they're 24. We're both on like tons of life. Dead weight, that's dead card. I guess it's better than Disfigure, probably. Is this a full mana angler? Yeah, that resolves. Try cast this edict. Alright. We will have to stop casting this Whispers at some point. Probe with Kicker. That's not terrible. It helps clear out their hand, makes it more likely that the Frightful Delusion will hit a relevant card on the discard. I also get to discard some like Disrupt deadweight type cards, which are currently dead, as mentioned. Oh wait, they're tapping out? Yes, we did it! Bam! This is what I wanted. You really need to draw like a Dimir Aqueduct or the wall fairly soon, I think. We've dug quite far into our deck. They're low on cards. If this is another angler, then we have another edict. Yep. So they've only got 2 cards left. And I'm pretty sure I have plenty of card left in my deck to win this game. So I'm still going to cast this with buyback. Aha, okay. Mortuary Mire. Still not going to cast this Forbidden Alchemy though. That one's milling me a bit too hard. Alright. Give me back. I guess I want... Oh, I already had Wall in my graveyard. I think I want walls just so I can get Capsize. And at this point, I'm just going to cast Cycle Whispers to get my card immediately. Like, I have more than enough cards. do some brief counter spelling. I guess their hand could be 3 counter spells left. Like just one more counter spell. Give me back this. Where is it? Where's my capsize? All right, let's go. So now I can like capsize Mortuary Mire or Mnemonic Wall to get back counter spells. That one's mildly annoying. Because they were, obviously they were like mostly out of cards there. The Muldrifter into more Muldrifters? Ah, the daggers. It was all going so well. So I'm gonna I guess I'll just try and tap some mana on their turn. So they have a clock now. I mean, that's technically enough time to kill me with their 4 power of Muldrifter. This is another Muldrifter? Or it's a Gangler? It could be anything, honestly. Or it's a Angler. I'm gonna cast Soul Manipulation. Try to get back my Angler. And capsize, buy back my Mortuary Mire. So one nice thing about doing this is it actually stops me from being decked in the long term. Get get back that thing. Play this. Discard a few random things that don't matter. I could probably flashback a Change Edict. And I think I'm safe to capsize it buyback right now, this wall. Since next turn I can play it, get back a counter spell. Yeah, and win the game from there. That's the plan anyway. Obviously something bad could happen. There's counter spell. Alright. I mean, I think my opponent is definitely locked now. Get back Prohibit, I guess. That one's quite good. I can Devour Flesh my wall, and then Mortuary Mire it on top. Alright. So, I mean, I'm not that far behind in the clock, but I'm a little bit far behind because, I was taking a lot more actions than they were, but, playing as fast as I could while explaining generally what was going on. And in terms of what we're doing now is, I guess, Confound is not that great because they seem to be mostly on edicts. So if they had like more Doomblades, but I don't think they're going to have too many Oathspore against this. This Deadweight, this Disfigure, those don't seem good. Innocent Blood seems fine if they go for the early Angler plan. Same with these other edicts, they're all acceptable at the very least. In terms of what we bring in, we get to bring in Negate. There are a bunch of sorcery spells in their deck, so I think this is fine, if not incredible. I didn't see any of the Pristine Talisman type shenanigans. Nihil Spellbomb seems good. Mournwhelk seems pretty good, since it's just like a mind rot that you get back instantly from Mortuary Mire. Crypt Incursion, it's not exactly good. I'm not actually sure if that's good or not. Let's see, is there anything else that's just terrible? I guess Complete Disregard. Complete Disregard hedges against the Geist that they may or may not be bringing in. I'm not sure if they're going to let me get them again with Frightful Delusion, but I think Agony Warp's more likely to whiff. And I guess I could bring in Brush with Death. It's like a faster, quote-unquote, way to kill them, but I don't think that's going to work. Alright, time to play as fast as we can. Having said that, I can now no longer F8 because of the Whispers of the Muse in my hand. And am I cycling this only sandbar this game? No, I don't think so. I'm gonna need these land drops. Preordain, fine to resolve. It's not nearly as big a deal as some other things. Yep, just gonna play this. Ideally, they'll try and like play a creature, then I get to counterspell it, then Mournwhelk them. That doesn't seem very likely. Oh, well, I guess my card's gonna get dispelled. So I'm glad I left in that Complete Disregard that I can maybe get at some point. But Shamer thing got countered, but whatever. Taste it. Mournwhelk. So then I guess we go for Muldrifter next turn. Oh, they just discarded 2 lands. That's bad for me. It means they're probably just resolving their own Muldrifter. Yeah. Well, the tempo of this game is significantly different from last one. Yeah, we have quite a few removals for Sombring Geist, but if it does resolve, it's obviously quite bad. Being on the draw makes it a lot harder for us to get the Geist. Since obviously they get to play it with Dispel backup. I guess they also have an Angler. If they also have an Angler this turn, I think we're just crushed. Yeah, this one's a pretty tough draw to beat on the draw. So what do we do about this? I guess Think Twice is the first thing we have to do. And just pass. So I think what needs to happen here is we need to like think twice into Complete Disregard. Oh, they even had the second AK to refuel. Dress. Alright. I mean, that's going to take our Edict or Remove Soul, depending on whether they're going to play like another Mulldrifter. So we need to hit complete disregard and some Edicts, I guess. I didn't respond to that with Think Twice in case they like drew into another duress or something. Rightful Delusion. That's embarrassing. But also great, but embarrassing. So that gives us an out, I suppose. Because we get to like recoil the Angler and then remove Soul it, ideally. So, I mean, we could do it to this, but we're getting killed by the Angler too fast. Yeah, on the multiple dispels. It's too nasty. I'll just take a card out of their hand. Okay, because we were dead anyway. Well then, their hand was too powerful for us to contain this game. And like I think everything's relatively fine. We just need to not be just crushed on the draw like that. And this hand's fine. All these enter the battlefield tap lands that we currently have does make it a little bit sketchy if a similar draw occurs on the for the opponent, because then they'll just basically get to do the same thing they did last game. I've got to cycle this Baromir. We have quite a few lands going. And I wanted to find an untapped one so I could fall summoning plus dispel. Matchup does definitely seem to have gotten quite a bit trickier post board since they got to take out their like ghastly demises and stuff for dispels and discard, which is totally reasonable since you know, we're like a dumb Highlander deck. Kind of really want to recoil this Dimir Aqueduct. Don't think I can just tap out to do it though. Or maybe I can. No, I don't think so. But wait. Now I can. I guess technically maybe I should have let this resolve first. Because what if they just discarded another accumulated knowledge to just draw an extra card? I guess I could have dispelled it then if that is what they had done. So we gave them the mana disadvantage. But it's only temporary, I suppose. And if only we could resolve that thing. So we could like tap out for one of these creatures. That doesn't seem like a great plan. Like if we had one more mana, I think I'd go for that. Because then we'd have Dispel. You know, because then we could like Wall plus Dispel, or Angler, removing some things plus Dispel, but... Okay, that's good. So we set them back enough that they couldn't like overwhelm us, but we still need to find a way to put them away before it's too late for our time. This looks like a Gurmag Angler plus counter backup, so I guess it's fine if you get dispelled here since we have like Capsize to just put it back in their hand. Also, we can play our own. Well, I think just capsizing them seems like a good plan. Like, you can't replay it very easily. On the other hand, we do actually need to kill them, so... How about if I draw some cards? Ah. Getting this edict while it's still good seems fairly important. They can play a Stormbug Geist, but now we can angle. Oh, they have a deep analysis. Deep analysis also obviously very good in attrition games. Oh well, they played their Demir Aqueduct again. Looks like we were getting edicted. So, I mean, we obviously could have not played that out there, but I think we're actually not too bad in terms of where we are at the moment. Because I can just get it back. I mean, we've reached a stage where we can just cast Angler, just without needing to delve things. So just drawing a 5/5 seems quite good. Maybe it's not though. Maybe it's bad. Maybe we should have just tried to like return Dismal Backwater. And I think if we had more time in our clock, I may well have done that and just like forced them to just be on 3 mana for the rest of the game. But we need to kill them. Or at the very least, force them to do a bunch of stuff so that they fall behind on the clock. Because obviously in real life, capsizing people is a lot easier. You just like tap 6 and be like, this thing. Oh, guess they delved away some AKs earlier. Paying 3 mana for Angler. Actually, I think I'm going to resolve Wall. Get back Edict. Because this will provide some Edict protection for my Angler in the near future. Also, I mean, I still keep the Edict in my graveyard for a third Angler from them. Also, they sort of have to kill this, otherwise I can start capsizing it. Yeah, alright. Let's see, I guess they maybe have another Dispel here. But I'm gonna try and bounce it again. Like, they've got so many more cards, limiting the limiting factor for them is mana. The teachings is actually pretty interesting, since I can go search up for some protection for Gurmag Angler. Or I can like try and get a soul manipulation. I mean, this is great if it resolves. I mean, I don't think it was going to resolve, but... Oh, they're remove souling their Muldrifter, thinking it's going to counter my thing. I'm afraid not, friend, because my spell had 2 targets. I think I'm gonna cycle this Whispers of the Muse quite shortly, since I'm not gonna be casting it, and I need to fuel my Gurmagangler. I'm gonna cycle the Whispers now in case I draw a Remove Soul. I did not, but it's fine, I guess. Also, by bouncing their land, it means they can't just flash back their Change Edicts on me. Let's see. Exiled Dispel and the Whispers of the Muse. So I have a feeling I might want to get back Soul Manipulation with this wall, since it gives me like a sort of loop. I'm going to play out this in an attempt to counter the Edict, so to speak. They have a Soul Manipulation as well? Ah, good beats. If they have basic Swamp, I guess that's bad for me here, since they get to cast it. Still really need to keep them off flashing back Chainer's Edicts at willy-nilly. I'm definitely playing a bit fast and loose. Like this last game, I'm basically 100% certain that it could have been played better, but I'm under time pressure. We are, however, sort of getting to the stage where we can like double capsize. Like capsize and negate back up on the Gurmagangler, leading to soul manipulation. Frightful Delusion. I mean, that's fine if you're keeping them constrained on mana, which I sort of am. An opponent exiled a bunch of relevant cards there, which is nice. I also could block with the wall and then cast it as buyback on my wall. But I think I'd rather force them to tap more mana. Again, as mentioned, their limiting factor is the amount of mana that they have, not the number of cards that they can cast. Just play a Muldrifter, full price Full price Small Drifter. Do it. Is it a full price Angler? Ooh. Alright, stuff. Go. Well, they could now officially flash back their things, but I've forced them to mess around with mana so long that they don't have any Chaos Edicts in the graveyard anymore, so... I have to say, I don't know how exciting this game will be to watch, but I'm feeling tense now. The timer's coming down, like, stuff's being cast. This is fun magic for me. I have a bunch of options at all times, which may be not actually good for my clock, but it's fine. Bam! And they're gonna just exile their thing right now. So they're dead in 3 turns. Accumulate knowledge, that's fine. Just cycle. Mystical Teachings. Flashback that one. Spellstarter Sprite now alive against most cards. I guess Prohibit's is the best card here. Like, helps keep my Angler train trucking. Oh, well, here's a Spellstarter. Will target any spell. No, we have more things. They have their own Spellstarter? Okay. They can only target their own Preordain. I'm going to capsize their original Spellstarter Sprite. So that means they're going to have 2 Spellstarter Sprite abilities targeting their Preordain, since it's the only legal target for the ability. Get this chump blocker out of the way. Just got that back ready for casting next turn. Sky Spotter. I'll try and exclude it, since it provides multiple blockers. Got a Mournwhelk to cast. Good lord. Cast it. How do you feel about this? Alright, I mean, we knew that card was there. I'm excited to win that match. It's a long drawn out contest where basically nearly every card in my deck did something good. Can't really complain about that. See you for next round.